Hey guys, welcome. Welcome aboard. If you're brand new, welcome back. If you are not, and welcome home, if that suits you. Today we want to talk about the astrology and energies for the week of the 11th through the 17th of December 2023. We really only have a couple of more weeks in this calendar year. Wow. Let's get going like normal, right? So this week we start off with a Scorpio moon, just for a few hours though. That Scorpio moon is going to sextile Pluto in the very early morning, and then the moon moves into Sagittarius early, and the Sag moon is going to square Saturn. Mercury in Capricorn will sextile Venus in Scorpio. Oh, hey, okay. And that Sag moon is going to quincunx Jupiter later in the afternoon. So Monday is a day that feels kind of, it's a paradoxical day, right? So you might feel a little bit confident and also enigmatic on the outside, but on the inside, you may feel stifled, right? Or even a little bit yearny, right? Like something you need, you don't have, those kinds of feelings on the inside. So the key is speak of your own perceived losses, right? And don't hold back when it comes to claiming your experiences. You might find a deeper layer of understanding, both of that experience and of yourself within the story. So make sure that you tell it, even if it's only to yourself, right? So on Tuesday, the 12th, the sun in Sag, of course, quincunx is Uranus, which is in Taurus, still retrograding. The moon, thank you, the moon in Sag conjuncts Mars, trines Chiron, still retrograding, of course. Quincunx is Uranus in Taurus, and then at 5:32 p.m. Central, the moon conjuncts the sun for a new moon at 20 Sag. This new moon happens squaring Neptune, right? Yeah, absolutely. So it may feel a little bit foggy, right? It's preloading this Mercury Retrograde that's coming up on Wednesday. So on Tuesday, finalize your holiday purchases, your holiday schedulings, tidy up your books, tidy up your calendar, make any calls that you need to make early in the day. This new moon squaring Neptune is going to create some, let's call it added static, to what might already be a challenging time on top of a Mercury retrograde, right? So today, get your action steps in, be in motion. Again, check your boxes, do all the things, and honestly, I want to add to that, mind your money, right? Make sure that you are getting everything written down, and dot all your I's, cross all your T's, right? Just do those things on Tuesday. Because on Wednesday, early, like 48 minutes into the day, Central Time again, the Sag moon will square Neptune, right? So much Neptune. And I know Neptune is direct, which makes it a little more, I saw you though, I saw you, you're coming out, a little more dicey. And then at 1:09 a.m. Central Time, Mercury turns retrograde in Capricorn, right? So, no, that's totally wrong. I'm so sorry. Yeah, in Capricorn. And then the moon moves into Capricorn right after that, right? That's our next major aspect. And then that moon is going to sextile Saturn, trine Jupiter, and conjunct retrograding Mercury. So mind your dream time on Wednesday mornings. Take an extra second if you can, and just mind what messages came in for you. Today kind of rings in a little emotionally messy and perhaps a little bit off kilter. The fact is that's okay, right? If your usual go-to coping mechanism is to fall into your doingness, right? If I can't be in my beingness, I'm going to be in my doingness, right? You might be pleasantly surprised today. So keep up that good work. mind your routines and your habits. You know, you're going to be best served by really sticking with what you know, relying on your own muscle memory, regardless of what layer that muscle comes from. But just be in your routines and your habits on Wednesday. It will be okay. On Thursday the 14th, that Capricorn moon is going to sextile Venus in Scorpio. She will square Chiron and trine Uranus. So there are assertive and confident energies today that bring in waves of self-motivation. So the key is keep telling your stories of success and healthy new habits. And don't be afraid to blow your own horn, right? Especially to yourself. So remember that you're creating those self-sustaining cycles of your own glow up. So guess what? Do that and keep doing that. Well done, right? On Friday, the 15th, the Capricorn moon will sextile Neptune and conjunct Pluto before moving into Aquarius, just about lunchtime, Central Time. And then Mars in Sagittarius will trine Chiron, and the moon in Aquarius will square Jupiter. So this is another significant dream time, right? So are you paying attention? There are always messages in the dream time. So if your dreams are popping up in terms of memory, please make sure that you're paying attention. And the fact of the matter is that you're here for that, right? You're more than willing to confront your own patterns and traumas, especially on Friday. So get on board, right? Get on board with your own testimony. Again, we're talking about telling those stories. So get on board with it. Be willing to put yourself out there and be willing to put your money where your mouth is, so to speak, right? Do not... let's call it this way, don't back or claim anything that you do not want amplified. This is really important, especially at this time, because if you do put your energy behind something that you don't necessarily want conjured, it may come back to haunt you later, right? So just be clear. Be clear on your motivations, be clear on your intentions, be clear on what it is that you are calling in, and put all your cards on those squares. Be okay with that. On Saturday the 16th, that moon in Aquarius is going to square Jupiter, sextile Chiron and Mars, and then square Uranus. And then the sun in Sag is going to square Neptune. Again, we're talking a lot about Neptune this week, right? So this is a lot of fog. This is a lot of check, double check, especially in the middle of a Mercury retrograde, right? We just need to make sure that the things that you're doing are the things that you want to be doing, the things that you're choosing, right? So on Saturday, be willing to make your own plans, and remember that it's okay to do something alone if company isn't available. So what I mean by that is, if you want to do something and the person that you usually do stuff with isn't available or wants to do something else, here's the deal. That kind of liberation is good for you, right? Flex your comfortable, confident independence and resist any urge to feel a judgment about the fact that solitude can only be a lonely experience, right? There is power there, so claim it. Make sure that you're claiming it. On Sunday, the 17th, that Aquarius moon will sextile the sun, and Venus will quincunx Chiron. The moon moves into Pisces in the afternoon. That Pisces moon is going to conjunct Saturn and then sextile Jupiter later in the day. So on Sunday, do not overthink. Don't overthink anything. Resist the urge, right? Press the clutch so that you're in wide open mode. Ask for clarity and then accept what comes. Be clear and then let things be what they are. And if you conjure a scene, don't be surprised when a scene appears. If you invite drama or accept an invitation to drama, don't be surprised when you're standing there with it. So your urge to take things personally or seriously on Sunday really might create amplifications in all the wrong places. Again, always ask Never wonder, right? Clarity, clarity, clarity in all things. Just be in that mode. Let's talk. So on Monday, we've got the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. So this is lovely energy, honestly. This is a day that we talked about kind of feeling a little bit maybe back and forth. But if you're claiming your experiences, right, you might find that deeper layer of understanding. So 9 of Cups, right, is wish fulfillment, but it's also accepting full responsibility for your emotional state, right? This is that place where we say, okay, I understand that my life has happened to me. At this point, all of the things that have happened to me have happened for me. And I'm going to claim that because I know that I'm responsible for how I show up, because I'm doing the work to free myself of the attachments, of the illusions, of the trauma responses, right? And what happens next? Your experience becomes your experience. Your experience becomes your legacy. And so remember that if you're claiming your experiences, you will always find a deeper layer of understanding, right? You're not looking for closure. You're not looking for, you're not looking to make a thing okay. You're not looking to excuse a situation. What you're looking for is understanding. This happened, and this is what I'm doing with it now, right? Right? So be in your acceptance. On Tuesday, listen, we've got the 3 of Swords and the 10 of Wands. So we talked about this day. This is a new moon day, right? So here's the deal. This is lovely energy for a new moon. What are you willing to put down in terms of what you believe that you have experienced as loss or betrayal or sadness or heartbreak? And how can you put it down? Right? What are you willing to offload so that you can move forward without these swords as your baggage? Remember that swords are ideas, swords are beliefs, swords are concepts, and wands are that's baggage, friends. That's the things that lodge themselves in your heart. And so if you have to offload some ideas to lighten up your heart, please do that. Again, we're talking about this day as the day to finalize purchases and scheduling and calendar and all the things that you need to do, not just for the holidays, but guess what? For the rest of your life, right? Get your action steps in place, and then don't be afraid to throw down anything you don't want to carry. Anything you don't need to carry, anything that doesn't belong to you, right? Get rid of it so that you can move forward more lightly. Lessons are light. Baggage is the thing that's heavy. Wednesday, this is Mercury Retrograde day. And again, we have the moon squaring Neptune and conjuncting that retrograding Mercury. We're talking about, again, minding the dream time. And making sure that if we're feeling a little emotionally messy, that we're going to move into our doingness, right? We're going to stick to our routines. Here's the deal. Know that you have help, right? The 6 of Swords is always about how you're moving away from something. The King of Wands is always where are you moving toward, right? This is how is your heart serving you, right? So if we look at this on the tails of this day, right, we have what we're putting down and what we're going to move forward as a reason, and how we're moving that way. Understanding that as long as you stick to what you know, right, and mind your muscle memory, and understanding that as long as you can do those things, your transitions in motion will be fairly effortless, right? And you'll always have assistance. You'll just know how to get that done. On Thursday, the 14th, we've got the 8 of Cups and the King of Swords. Again, we're talking about moving away, right? 8 of Cups is how we choose to move away from something that's not emotionally fulfilling, how we tailor our ideas, right? How we become in control of our ideas, right? Which is all that we're ever trying to do when we're talking about doing the work, right? We have to do all of the things we know so that we can master the concept of this idea gets me in the feels and triggers me to behave or act in a certain way, right? I have an auto response, And how am I going to shift and change that? So this is that day where we're talking about assertive, confident energies, right? Bringing in self-motivating waves in order so that you can tell your story of success, of healthy habits, right? And create your own self-sustaining glow-up cycle instead of whatever that cycle has been, right? You're moving towards something new and you're already telling the story. This is about committing to it, right? And allowing it to be your guiding narrative, and not looking back, right? Honoring what happened as a what happened, but moving forward as a this is where I'm choosing to go now. On Friday, wow. Okay, so you have the Empress and the King of Cups. How lovely is that, right? So this is energy that is so fertile and ready for manifestation, for planting, right? Based in your own heart. And we talked about this as the day that things that get triggered in the dream time, right? In that ethereal kind of energy where you're just maybe catching a whiff of an idea or a possibility, and then you're able to really dig in to confront your own traumas, right? Because that King of Cups is not afraid of his traumas. He says, well, okay, I witnessed that, I see that, how can I grow from it? I witnessed that, I see that, how can I plant that and fertilize it in order to allow me to grow, bloom, and blossom, right? So get on board with your own testimony and be willing to do what it is that you're going to do. And remember, right, we talked about this as the day to absolutely not back or claim anything that doesn't really resonate with you. Again, if we're talking about just a complete and total field of fertile everything, right? Which the universe is. The universe is always going to give you back what you give it. So if you're planting confidence, if you're planting success and faith, well, you're going to get more of that because that's the nature of the universe. If you're working on creating those patterns, plant them now, and make sure that you're not backing anything that doesn't resonate with you so that you don't get those crazy, insidious kind of creeping vines that you have to then go back and prune or deal with later. So if you have the option, plant what you'd like to see bloom in your garden, right? Because that's what's coming up. On Saturday, you have the Six of Cups and the Eight of Swords. Okay, so this is about where are you blocking yourself? You are your own worst enemy and your own best friend, right? So we're talking about making plans that could include yourself only today. If the person or persons that you usually hang out with or do things with have an other idea and you want to do something else, go ahead and do it, right? Fall back on the fact that it's okay to do that and resist any kind of judgment about what that means to your future. It just means you're making a choice in the now, right? That's liberation. The Six of Cups is about the way that you feel unconditional love. And so if you're experiencing any kind of relationship where you have that, and it means that today I want to do X and you want to do Y, well, that's okay. It doesn't mean that we're not bonded. It doesn't mean that we're not friends. It doesn't mean we're not lovers. It doesn't mean you're not my buddy. It doesn't mean that next time we go to do X, Y, Z, you're not going to come with me. It just means today we might want to do something different. So don't judge solitude as loneliness. Instead, claim the power within that, right? All of your cups are full. None of them are spilled, even if you believe it, right? They're not. It's just your belief that's gotten in the way. On Sunday, you have the Hermit and the Two of Swords. Lovely. Don't overthink. Don't overthink. Ask for clarity and then be clear about what comes. Be clear in and of your own truths, and then do not question what happens next, right? If you invite drama, if you invite a scene, you cannot be surprised when they show up, even in your own inner space, right? Don't take it personally. Don't take it seriously. And again, we're really talking about the amplification of what you want versus the rearing of its head of the things that you don't, and why those things happen, right? So mind what you're conjuring, right? And again, if you're looking for clarity, always ask, never wonder. That's your responsibility, not the person, not the other person. You are the one who has to seek clarity. So when we talk about refuse to step down, again, this is 100% that if you're going to choose to take something personally, or if you're going to choose to take something seriously, or if you're going to choose to manifest a thing, you can't back off of it. You have to take responsibility for it, right? And that's what this means. You can't step into but you, but they, but that, right? This is about claiming, always claiming your truth as your truth and taking responsibility for it. And as far as Oracle, we have the gift. And I love this card. It's so lovely. Hold on. I'm going to have to find it, though, because this is not the simplest Oracle to find all of the things. Alrighty. Okay, so smoke rising up behind her. Pandora sits in the chair, pondering what the jar contained. Was it a good idea to release the potent magic contained in such a small vessel? She does not know what will become of her gift just yet. Only time can tell what will happen to the world as the gift spreads out from the tarnished jar. Pandora wears a simple lavender robe, showing her devotion to Zeus. It also shows the gift of her wisdom and generosity attributed to her. The meaning of this card is, be careful of stepping into situations you may not be able to get out of. Haha, retreat from complicated situations. Well, that's a beautiful validation. Excuse me. Again, we're talking about how we are intentionally claiming what we're claiming. And in a week where we have a Sagittarius New Moon, which is all about experience, our experience, right? And it is squaring Neptune, right? So the sun and the moon are both squaring Neptune as this new moon comes in. And so it's about clarity. It's about knowing what you're activating, because it's going to amplify. So whatever story you're telling is the story that you're getting, right? Again, so be mindful of this Neptune energy. Be mindful of the lack of clarity. Be mindful of the story that you're telling as a directive, as a narrative, as the thing that's going to take you where you are going. Just be mindful, right? Of what you're inviting, of what you're conjuring, of what you're calling in. Welcome what comes, and understand that it's always for you, right? Be blessed, guys. Be blessed.